Welcome, Cancer Leo, to your Uranus in Gemini reading. Okay, guys, this is going to end in May 2033. So some say 8 years, some say 7 years. Doesn't matter. It depends on how you're counting. So anyways, let's get in here and see what's going on with you. I've already got some of the cards set up since we don't want it too long. Okay, so getting straight into this is where Uranus now goes into Gemini is going to affect for you the 12th house. Okay. The 12th house is of the subconscious and hidden matters. Okay, this is where things could be very overwhelming for you, but you yield to your greatest power. Okay, this is where you have the long-term, quiet, internal revolution where individuals may break free from inner self-limiting beliefs and old emotional patterns. Okay, I bring you right up that devil card if you see it that way. So yes, this is going to definitely, because you are Leo and the moon Cancer, this is going to actually bring up some prophetic dreams, your intuition. Your intuition could be a little glitchy, right? It could be back and forth within the next 7-8 years. If we count it from 26 to 33, now it would be 7 years. But however, this is where you're also going to find some spiritual hidden interests, deep interests of meditation, could be therapy, working behind the scenes, seeing things differently. You might even have a tendency to spend time alone for rejuvenation. You might even find yourself on the dark night of the soul journey during this time period. Okay. So I would say that the best approach to this really is to embrace any kind of solitude, to rebuild any kind of mental health rather than trying to resist things. Okay, if you know that it's time to step back into the shadows, do that shadow work. Okay, allow yourself that time to do so. And we know that too because you also have the moon coming out. Okay. This card here is representing not only your Cancerian side, but it's also influenced by your emotions and that intuition. Okay. Next card we have coming out is going to be the Hermit. The Hermit card is a great card because this is talking about taking that time to step back. It's talking about that conscious retreat, that solitude that's needed for you to transform and transition into whatever it is that's needed for your soul growth and purpose. And then over here we have the Tower, which is Uranian, that lightning. There's that Uranus coming out, which the Uranus is talking about that, Uranus is talking about that communication, technology, things that are going to be going on with everyone, right? Having and showing those breakthroughs. But the Tower is also, is talking about destroying old mental loops, striking down things that no longer serve you. Boy, did I know that when it was in Taurus. I'm Taurus. It just got out of my house, and I'm like, bye. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of Tower moments that you're going to notice, so that it can rebuild, give you back that hope, that strength, that confidence. With the Star card, it's also representing that healing, that spiritual awakening that follows any kind of, right, Tower moments, any kind of disruptions. Okay, guys, this is beautiful. So we're going to get right straight into this. I'll be clarifying on this here. At the top here, we do have what's surfacing from the subconscious right now. So we really want to look at this and say, okay, so how is the moon going to be affecting me for the next 7 to 8 years? Like I said, it depends on how you want to count that, guys, okay? Some are saying 7, some are saying 8. I know I made you guys put an 8 down because I was counting and the way that I was counting, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. So let's get in here and see what's going on. This is saying what's surfacing from the subconscious right now. So what's is the High Priestess. Wow, your intuition. Your intuition is going to likely just be sparking. We already talked about that. It's intuition on top of the intuition. Your psychic gifts are going to be taking place. Feeling more spiritual, feeling more connected to the universe. Wow. Having those prophetic dreams, heightened intuition, spiritual awakening, feeling like you have some kind of deep interest in meditation. I said it before, working behind the scenes. Guys, this is where you're definitely going to be feeling like I'm working with the universe and the universe is working with me through the 12th house. This might be that place where, a lot of you are empaths from that Cancerian side. You know how to use your intuition very well. Your gut feeling goes crazy. You could be very empathic, but you're going to find that you're going to have a lot of downloads coming from this situation. You will definitely have this kind of revolution in where you were feeling like, I can't figure things out. You're going to start seeing things a lot clearer. So there will be some things that are overwhelming and you're going to feel, kind of like, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm really fogged out. I can't seem to use my intuition. And then all of a sudden it's like when you step back, you're going to realize that the more you dig for the star, right? The more you dig, the more you're going to find. Because this is about that subconscious hidden things that are going on within your life. So, there could be some esoteric things that are also going into your life. Maybe you're also going to do some tarot channels or, use your mediumship to get out there to help others. Use your empathic gifts to help healing. You might even find yourself in some kind of becoming a therapist because you have that intuition. You have those gut feelings to be able to help others. So I do feel like a lot of you are going to be inspired to do things as healers. Nursing, doctors, therapists. Wow. This is very enlightening, is actually what it is. You're being called as a spiritual light worker to do your gifts that you were given. Now, you take what resonates, what doesn't resonate, go ahead and throw away. Okay, remember, I'm trying to reach out to a lot of you. For others of you, it's just going to be these tangible things that are going on within your life where you're starting to realize that there's something behind the scenes that is going on where I can feel like I'm connected. It's just being connected with the universe and your higher self. And feeling more secure. Now, like I said, it'll be wishy-washy because that's what Uranus and does when they're in other signs. Anyways, it brings in a lot of clarity. And then sometimes makes you feel like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And that's why the Hermit is very important. Okay, so getting to the Hermit over here. We have the Devil going, getting in there and taking care of those self-limiting beliefs, things that are holding you back, things that are telling you that you can't do things, really building your self-confidence. You're going to grab yourself, put yourself back into a corner. You're going to do some shadow work and really work on that overcoming and trusting. Also, it's going to be about trusting your intuition as well and not letting you self-sabotage yourself. It's about self-sabotage. So, the Hermit is really asking how to best use private time for growth. Get rid of self-limiting beliefs. And don't worry about what other people say. That's not going to help you. If they're being negative on a negative way and it's not in a helping way, then you need to pull yourself away from people who are not there for you. They're either there for your best growth with truth, or they're there to hurt you and keep you stuck. So you're going to have this breakthrough. So it's really about having this breakthrough, okay? Focusing on how you're going to rise up and take your power. How to use this alone time efficiently without feeling like others are distracting you or that your own mind is keeping you down. Going to the Tower. The Tower over here is very interesting because it's saying which old mindset or script is being deleted. What am I telling myself that needs to be deleted? What things, are holding me back? So you really want to get in there and say, these are old, outdated truths. Absolutely. Self-sabotage, people wearing a mask, feeling like things are not coming towards you. Knight of Swords, going after your truth, wanting your truth, focusing on your truth. Because it's going to have a lot to do with that. It represents that Gemini energy, showing you how subconscious breakthroughs are going to come through, but could completely crumble everything from your past. Everything that you thought was sturdy and stable, you're going to realize is not on a firm foundation, and it's going to make the breakthroughs. So Gemini says, I don't want that. So as soon as you get that knowledge and you have this understanding and you're racing forward, everything that doesn't work comes crashing down. So it's going to be these sudden moments and breakdowns. You don't need these structures anymore. You know you don't need them anymore. So everything is unfolding for you during this time, allowing you to build strong. But that's where the star is going to come in very strong, because the star says, okay, but now we have to keep the faith. During this time, I want you to keep the faith. This is a long process. This isn't something that just happens overnight. This isn't something that's just going to happen right after this reading. You're going to have many, many tests. It's a 7 to 8 year cycle. It's, all the way to, from 2026 all the way to May 2033. You're going to have all these tests, all these things coming through, just so that you can get yourself to a place where you can uncover the true you, what's hidden for your best growth, getting yourself to the purpose of why you're here and what's going on within the situation. So the star is going to represent the healing and that spiritual awakening that, like I said, that's following that chaos, that breakdown. The sun. Wow. So going straight from the star straight into the sun. Here comes the sun. This is going to be that creative spirit, that hidden ego, bringing you back into the blessings, feeling like you're reconditioning yourself back to where it needs to be, having those spiritual breakthroughs. Because the star is the ultimate spiritual breakthrough, right? That's coming through for you. Healing for the future, seeing a new vision, watching the new build. This is a rebirth. This is saying new comes from that. New rebirth, new inspirations. Things are going to be planted into your mind for the years ahead that are going to bring in the blessings, that are going to bring in the things that you really need. Yes, Magician. Wow. Things that are going to be able to offer you solid new ground. Because remember, the Tower says this doesn't work. So the Magician says now it's time to rebuild. It's now time to open up to what your dreams and aspirations are and getting back to who you are and feeling new. A lot of you will go on a dark night of the soul. I did during the Uranus and Gemini for 3 years. So it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere towards the end of this or in the mid of this, it depends on the person, that this ends up not taking you into that place where you can actually really truly grow. And remember, guys, when you are going through these dark nights of the souls or these spiritual awakenings, be sure to take yourself out of the picture as much as possible. Make sure you are hermiting away, because the chatter of everybody else is not needed. The only thing you need to do is listen, sit back, and grow, right? It's very crucial, right? And no, it's not nice. Okay, anybody who says, oh, the spiritual awakening was the most wonderful thing, no, it's not. Then you didn't really go through a spiritual awakening. It is rough. It is hard. It tears down all your walls. It brings up things from your past that you didn't want to face. It brings tears. It brings nightmares. It's heavy. So if you're hearing people that are saying that, that is not true. It is, the dark night of the soul is the worst awakening I've ever had in my entire existence on this planet. But it was meant to be so that I could completely wake up, see what's going on, get rid of any fears, any things that are holding me back. And then you feel light. So, unless that's what they're talking about in the end, but when you're in the middle of it, it is not nice. It's not meant to be nice. Spiritual awakenings are not supposed to be nice either because they're breaking you open. It's your soul breaking open. Now, maybe they're talking about it afterwards, but I've heard so many people say some crazy, even the Kundalini is not nice. Okay? Because it brings up your past hurts, pains, everything that was deep down that you haven't healed from, that you thought you healed from, just to get you into this place of freedom and feeling free. Okay, so just remember that. And until next time, guys. And if you guys know that you want another reading for your spouse or something like that, put an 8 underneath there, but make sure you put the cusp name because I'm only doing them for cusps. Okay. And then, of course, you can always Google or go watch other videos for your regular signs. Make sure that you're doing that and for your rising because you're going to see those places also being affected and those houses as well for your rising and regular signs. Okay. Till next time, my friends. Peace and love. Bye-bye.